You could say hi to the camera quick.
Hello.
So now, eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Who's going to be my essential questions today for math class? Who do I never call? Let's start with Jungshi. You can do the first one. There's two today.
Essential question. 1. How can I use my knowledge of arrays to create rectangles?
So this is a little bit of a continuing from yesterday. Listen. Yesterday, do you remember we had a number and you had to make as many arrays as possible to fit that with rectangles? We're going to do it one more time because I'm going to show you one more thing. And some people just don't perfectly understand it yet. Okay? Essential question number 2. Robert.
Essential question 2. How can I use my
Knowledge
of arrays to design my own array scheme?
Oh, good. You are going to use arrays, rectangles, and you're going to design your own little city today. So you got to think. Columns, rows, how do I design my own city to make it fit like this? Now this is so good, you're not going to be able to do as good as this, but maybe you will. We'll see. We'll see how many buildings you can fit. Let's see how creative you can get with arrays. Dave, do you need the jacket? You want to put it on your chair? Can you put it on your chair? Can you come back? Alright, so by the end of the class, I need 2 more readers. You will be able to, Arena?
I can use math drawings to produce a rectangle with square time.
Thank you, Arena. So that's one thing you're going to be able to do. And 2, you will be able to... Austin? Okay, George.
I can use arrays to design my city.
You know what design means?
Yes.
It's all in your mind. You need to use your knowledge of arrays to create your own city in your own way. It's going to be fun. You can color, you can cut, you can glue. But first, we need to do a little review. Should we head down just for a second? So, before we get into more about arrays, let's review by looking at some more arrays in real life. Remember we've done this in the past? Austin, Ellie? Who likes Hershey's right there? Yeah, you kind of love Hershey's. Yeah, you don't like Hershey's?
Same.
Do you see an array in here?
Yes.
If you see an array, raise your hand. I see a rectangular array like we've been practicing. Who can describe this array using repeated addition or just a sentence? Let's start with, I'm not going to call people make it. Leo. Let's start with Leo.
4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12.
Who agrees with this? Can anyone else think of another sentence? Leo?
3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12.
Good job. This one's so easy, right? Actually, I went too far ahead. How many rows? 3. How many columns? 4. Which means it is
3 groups.
3 groups of 4. You did the repeated addition equation. Who can make a complete sentence now? How many pieces are in a full Hershey bar? Margaret?
It means there
Oh no, just make a full sentence, yeah. How many pieces are in a full Hershey bar?
is 12 pieces in the Hershey bar.
There's 12 pieces in a
Wait,
full
and
Hershey
there's
bar.
another. I think there's another.
But there's only 12 pieces. Oh, you think,
6. No, yeah. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2
Oh,
plus
that's a good point. Based on what we practiced yesterday, we could probably like cut the bar and like rearrange it to different arrays. But before you break out a Hershey's bar, it is 3 rows of 4 or 4 columns of 3. So we're using arrays to be able to count the amount of bars like really quickly, right? You can count the amount of bars without having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This can make it easier to count things in real life, right? This one's gonna be a lot harder. Who knows what this is?
Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
So this is a little hard, so let's just keep it simple first. How many rows are there on one side? Just one side. This is it. Raise your hand, please. Robert. 3 rows. How many columns are... Here, you still with us? Do you think you could actually do repeated addition for the whole Rubik's Cube? We don't need to solve it. So we know it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. How many spaces are there? We learned this in a different math class. Leo, how many faces are in a Rubik's Cube? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if there's 9 on one side, What repeated addition equation can we do for the whole cube, Leo?
9 plus 9. Wait, isn't there 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9?
Does anyone know what that is? Let me try to write it down. Yes, it's okay if you don't know this. This is some pretty complex math.
I know.
So it's 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. Who knows this one? How many 9s is that, first of all?
6.
Oh, we're going to learn 9 and 6 brothers. Who knows this answer? You don't need to know. Shanu? Do you see what we're doing here? Just by using arrays, we're doing some kind of other concept. Who knows multiplication? Oh, do you see what we've been doing the last couple classes?
Yeah.
We're kind of building up some multiplication. Who knows multiplication already? Well, guess what? Who thinks they don't know it? You do. You've just been doing it the last 3 weeks. Okay? Should we do one more? Or is this one too hard?
Too easy.
What is this? Aiden, oh, how many rows are there on a chessboard? These are a lot quicker and quicker every time you practice. Do you understand?
Yep.
That's all we're doing for now. You're going to go back to your desk, and we're going to practice one more time making arrays out of numbers. You ready?
Yep.
Before you go back to your desk, do you remember the strategies we can use? If I need to make an array, rectangle, of 12 tiles, what's the first step we talked about last time? What's the first step? Arena?
So we need to make for example, rather than the column is longer than the rows, or the rows are taller.
Okay. But if I have 12 tiles, I'll give you a picture. Okay. What's the step we can do? George.
One long row.
Thank you, George. One long row. And then after you have one long row, who agrees with George? I do. You can start doing 2 rows.
Oh my God.
Then 3 rows. And you have to see if you can make an equal row. So what I'm going to do is, once everyone's ready, everyone's not really listening. If you're listening, clap 3 times. I guess I will. You're going to go to your desk and we're going to practice arrays one more time. And we're going to learn some more multiplication, friends.
Yay.
Next step, eyes on me.
Yeah.
Every time we have a number of tiles like 12, are you listening, Jeff?
Just sit down.
The second step you can do is make 2 rows. If 2 rows works, you found a pair, right? You found a new array. If 2 rows doesn't work, we try
3
rows. And then 4. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to try to make another array. Okay? Ready, set, go! Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. No. I see many people who make many different arrays. I want you, just for a second, you can look around the classroom. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to walk around. You can look at different people's arrays. You want to see if they're similar or different than yours. Ready? Set, go. Around for 10 seconds.
Why do you do this?
I think you have too many, that's why. Count the total. Count the total. You had an extra one, that's why, Austin. Okay? Austin, you want to walk around and check if some are similar to yours? Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hear me? Clap 3 times. Okay. I'm going to ask somebody randomly. Shanu, when you walked around, did you see any arrays that are the same as yours? Yeah? Were all the arrays the same as yours? No. Some are different, right? Who can give me some arrays that you saw or have on your desk? Here. What's one array you can make with 12 tiles? Jeff, you can go back to your desk with your tiles.
You can do 6 plus 6.
6 plus 6. Yeah, it has 6 plus 6. What else can we do? So we have 2 rows of 6, which is 6 plus 6, right? Brighton said 4 plus 4 plus 4. What else can we do? Leo?
We could do 4 rows of
4 rows of 3. What's the repeated addition sentence for that?
3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12.
Good, Leo. Everyone, eyes on the TV quick. Leah, Austin. You can do 3 rows of 4, 4 rows of 3, 6 rows of 2, 2 rows of 6. Who has something that looks like that? There's no more other ways, right? Can we do 5 rows? No. I don't think we can do 7 rows or 8 rows. Looks like that. This is important now. Remember what we talked about earlier? We call these, so we can make 12 with 2 and 6, 3 and 4, Austin. Sit into the green tiles, please. Face the TV. Anytime we see 3 groups of 4, is everyone listening? 4 groups of 3, 3 rows of 4, 3 columns of 4. These two numbers together will always equal what? Always equal 12. If I say 2 rows of 6, 6 rows of 2, 6 columns of 2, 2 columns of 6, every single time we make an array, Ethan, what will it be? Do you see a pattern here? What does this look like to you? Margaret?
It looks like the heart is the multiplication sign.
Oh, Margaret's right. These are multiplication friends, right? This will help you learn multiplication if you don't already know it. Let's do one more, and then we're going to move on to the array activity, where you can design your own city. One long line of 16. Okay? One long line of 16. Ready, set, go. It's okay. You're going ahead. You already know what I'm going to say next.
Yes.
If you're ready. 3 rows work. Let's see how many variations of arrays we can make. Are you ready?
Yes.
You have 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Okay, now do it. Make 2 rows. You try to make 3 rows. Let's see how many we can make. 2 rows, good. Try to make 3 rows. Let's do this at level 0. You don't need to talk to this here. So let's try 2 rows. If you get 2 rows, you say, oh, that worked. Move on to 3 rows. If 3 rows doesn't work, move on to 4 rows. Sorry, 4 rows. Can you make an array with the number 7? You only need 7 tiles. Put the rest away. With 7 tiles, can you make an array? Let's see who can do it. Ready, set, go. What did we learn? I learned something. Jungshi, what did we learn?
The multiplication buddies.
What about multiplication friends? Does 7 have a lot of multiplication friends?
No.
No! It's kind of a weird number, right?
21.
I think there's only one relationship, right?
Yes.
We can only do, look at all these, we can only do 1 and 7, right?
1 and 7 is 1.
Yeah. So it looks like 12 and 16 have some good multiplication friends, but 7 really doesn't. Okay? Now, we're going to do a quick project. I'm going to explain this quickly, and then you're going to have the rest of the class to finish. Are you ready? You saw what I did, right? You are going to design your own array city. Here's my example on the board. Do you like mine?
Yeah.
This took me a while, so you don't need to make it this good, but you can work on it after class 2 if you want to make it nicer. But before we draw, before we color, here's the rules. You need to, eyes on the screen, choose any background color you want. Let's see over here. We got orange, pink, yellow, black, green.
Blue.
Choose your background. Doesn't matter. I chose red because I like red. 2. 2. You can color your arrays to make buildings. See how I color mine?
Yeah.
But first, you need to cut out from this piece of paper. You see?
Yes.
So there are 100 squares here. You need to cut out arrays using this piece of paper. Do you see what I did here? That's an array. This is an array. This is not part of it. I drew this after. This is the last step. This is an array. Do you see how I use different sizes arrays to make different buildings? I made a mega Costco. I made the Zenith. I have a UFO up here. I have a hospital, a school, and my own house. Now, this is important though. Is everyone listening? There's two things you must do, Ethan. Two things you must do. What's the first thing you must do? Who can read it for me? Arena?
One building must be 2 columns of 6.
One building must be 2 columns of 6. Who can point out which one is 2 columns of 6? Enzo, which one? The Costco, the Zenith, the hospital, the school. 2 columns of 6.
I found it.
Is he right? 2 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks a little confusing because they drew so much. Jeff? One building must be 2 columns of 6. And one building must be what? George? 3 rows of 4. Can you see which one's 3 rows of 4?
The hospital.
Thank you, George. 3 rows of. You need to label them. Okay? One sec. I'll ask questions, answer questions in a sec. So I labeled this one 2 columns of 6, and I did the repeated addition equation. 6 plus 6 equals 12. Do you see how I labeled each and every one?
Yes.
Do you think you're going to?
Why did I do blindly?
We're all going to be blue though? You can use other colors too if you want. Yeah. Okay, if you're coloring, you can use markers, but I want you to try to use colored pencil.
Okay.
Because I think if you use markers, it's going to bleed through the paper and it's going to look weird. Go back to your seat. I'll come to you. So how many, let's label first, right? So what's this? How many columns? 1, 2. Yeah. Or
No, 2 rows of 6.
2 columns of 6? Okay. So you could just write 2 columns of 6. Look at the board. In the red, you can see it.